Maintenance is the single biggest drain on your time, your sanity, and your bottom line. For years, the industry has told you that being a great property manager means being a great firefighter, answering the 2 a.m. calls, chasing vendors, and manually following up on every single leaky faucet. You've been told that scale requires more people, more stress, and more chaos. But there is a ceiling to that model. To break through, you have to stop being the doer of every task and become the architect of a system that runs without you. Today, we're looking at the blueprint for the 95% Club, an elite group of property managers who have successfully automated nearly their entire maintenance workflow. We're sitting down with Tyler Nelson, a former property management owner who scaled and exited his own company, to break down the exact mindset and data strategies required to build a business that never rests. It starts with a fundamental shift in how you view the technology itself. Welcome to the Property Management Framebreakers podcast. I'm your host, Pablo Gonzalez, and I am here to introduce you to the folks in the property management space that have broken the frame of what you may believe was possible. This podcast is presented by Vendoroo. It is your all-in-one AI solution for resolving your maintenance needs. Let's go. Most people approach AI as a fancy search bar, something you ask questions to when you're stuck. But the architect sees AI differently. They don't just want an answer, they want an outcome. This is the shift from generative AI, which creates content, to agentic AI, which completes goals. If you don't treat your AI like a new hire that needs context and a job description, you'll never get past the experimentation phase. Here is Tyler on the difference between a tool and a teammate.
Whenever you think, I have a goal or I want a task completed, that's what agentic AI is. And so on top of that, you then have general AI or AGI. And by all accounts, this is like the Terminator type view of the world, of where it can just go out into the universe and take over any sort of system and operate robots and things like that. And by all accounts, we are not here yet as a society. And so I'll be focusing on and demoing and showcasing the generative AI and the agentic AI components. What does AI actually need to be successful? It needs a solid foundation of knowledge, but it also needs proper framing and context. So like, as any of us as humans, you can't just say like, be better. It's like, well, what do you mean? Do I need to be better as like a cook? Do I need to be better as a sports person? And like, does that mean I need to work out more? Does that mean I need to actually like go taste test a bunch of things and learn how to follow a recipe? So context is super important as you're starting to like prompt it, and as you're wanting to get the right response back and the right actions back from AI as well.
Once you stop seeing AI as a chatbot and start seeing it as a goal-oriented agent, your operations must change. The old way of thinking says, I need to check my email to see if the vendor responded. The architect's way says, the system is already chasing the vendor while I sleep. Tyler points out that 60% of what you currently consider work is actually just a communication loop that shouldn't involve a human being at all.
The cool piece about agentic AI, and a tip that I got when I was starting with these early on, is never let your agent rest. Like, the agent is valuable when your agent is working on behalf of you, and you don't have to watch it. Similarly to Vendoroo, our goal is to get you to 90 to 95% of your work orders being fully automated by setting up your policies right, your maintenance notes right, your having your property set up right within your property management systems. And when all that is done correctly and is done with great detail, our AI can actually hit that like 90-95% mark. And so you all and all of your teams can do what they do best, which is that human component, building relationships. So the power of this is that it really is unseen. Like, all of these action items for me from call recordings are happening in the background while I'm jumping to the next call or like doing another task. And I just get to go in and say, hey, what do I actually have to do in this moment?
To reach the 95% Club, you have to move beyond just using technology and start training it. Most property managers are drowning in data, reports, spreadsheets, and dashboards that they never actually act on. The architect knows that data is just noise unless it updates the system's logic. If you see a recurring problem, you don't just fix the problem, you update the AI's maintenance book so it knows how to handle it next time without asking you. This is how you level up from a 70% automated business to a 95% automated one.
Data for data's sake is just noise. It just adds to the amount of information that you have to internalize and look at. And if there's not a clear direction with what to do with it, then it's ultimately not useful. I'm a big fan of, if you see it and are ingesting it, it needs to be used for something very specific. Each data point should indicate an actual action. This is the maintenance book within Vendoroo is actually your AI's brain. We've looked at the top automated clients and their maintenance books and come up with some guidelines of what does the AI need to at least get you to a really good spot from the get-go. And we define a really good spot as about 70 to 80% of work orders being handled without your involvement as a property manager. And then from there, we level you up slowly. Our goal is really to get all clients to about 90 to 95%.
A system is only as good as its gatekeeper. If the architect is still getting interrupted by spam calls or basic move-in questions, the system has failed. The final step in the roadmap is implementing an AI receptionist, not just to answer phones, but to act as a triage layer. It handles the mundane noise and the 2 a.m. emergencies, only passing the ball to a human when the situation requires a high-level relationship touch. It's about roles, responsibilities, and protecting your most valuable asset, your time.
Receptionist was first built as a maintenance coordinator support, and inadvertently this happens to screen out a lot of spam calls too. So we had one client go from about 50 spam calls a week that was distracting their team, and it weeded out all of those, which was cool to see too. People need to sleep, but your receptionist is always available to answer questions for tenants, create work orders, and just be there to support your team and take in messages so you don't miss any important calls. And then finally, receptionists can give you insights into what people are calling about. Think about it as roles and responsibilities. Your maintenance coordinator and your receptionist.
This is the ultimate evolution of the PM role. You are no longer at the mercy of the work order. You are the final authority in a system designed to protect your time.
So the goal is that it's really only bringing you in when you need to be brought in.
The roadmap to the 95% club is not a dream, it's a systematic choice. It's the choice to stop fighting fires and start building the engine that puts them out. When you finally transition from the doer to the architect, you realize that automation doesn't just save time, it saves your business. It allows you to focus on the human sentiment and the owner relationships that actually drive growth. Tyler leaves us with the ultimate goal of this entire journey.
If we're able to surface the tenant sentiment, then the goal is that can help you kind of increase your vacancies, decrease the amount of turnover you have, which ultimately makes your owners happier and everybody has higher revenue and like greater degrees of profitability going on into the future too.
You have the blueprint, you have the tools. Now it's time to build. We'll see you in the 95% club.